Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the next game in the 1987 American League replay. The next game in the June 7th docket. In fact, the second game in the June 7th docket. And it'll be between the New York Yankees and the Milwaukee Brewers from County Stadium. It's game number 375 overall on the replay. County Stadium is symmetrical, so singles 1 to 6 both sides. Home runs 1 to 5 both sides. Pitching matchup today. Dennis Rasmussen, a left-hander for the Yankees, and Chuck Krim, who started the season in the bullpen and is now doing some starting. I think he goes back to the bullpen later, but right now he's on a streak where he's been doing some starting recently. So that is your pitching matchup. Krim 1-1, Rasmussen 2-3. Look at the records of the two teams. The Brewers are in first place in the American League East, 35-16. Yankees are 34-21, trying to catch them. Krim, pitcher-catcher hold interface is pretty good at -2. Rasmussen, not so much at +3, so the Brewer runners might have a better advantage there. Wild pitches and balks, Krim is 3 on both sides, and Rasmussen's 8 wild pitches and 0 balk. Pass ball, Skinner a 1 and Surhoff a 5. So I think that kind of covers most of that. Let's look at Chuck Krim, the starter for the Brew Crew, and see what he has done not only in the real season, but in the replay itself. On the real season, he was 6-8 with a 367 earned run average. You can see he's rated as a reliever and a starter, but relief is listed first, which means that was his first deal. So if we look at his numbers on the replay, oops, wrong. I looked at Mark Clear instead of Chuck Krim. Let's get to Chuck Krim here. Get his numbers. For Krim, he actually started 5 games during the regular season. This will be start number 2 for him coming up. In the real season, he was 6-8 with a 3.67 ERA. Did have 12 saves out of the bullpen. On the replays, 1-1 with a 2.27 ERA and 5 saves out of the bullpen. But like I said, he gets 5 starts. This is the second one of a 5, so I think they all happened right in a row. Probably while one of their starters was injured, and then he goes back to the bullpen after that. He does have a decent fatigue rating of 5, so it's not like you got to wear your bullpen out with him pitching. If he's effective, he'll go 5, maybe 6 innings. You never can tell. All right. So let's get this ball rolling. Yankees trying to make up some ground. They lost the previous game to the Brewers, so they really can't afford to lose again. But Yankees are in hard times because Ricky Henderson and Don Mattingly are on the disabled list. So they're playing definitely shorthanded, no question about it. So Claudell Washington will lead it off for the Yankees. On the real season, Claudell was .279 hitter with 9 home runs. On the replay, he's hitting .344 with 2 homers and 15 driven in. So a little bit better on the replay. Chuck Krim to Claudell Washington, and oh, wait a minute, can't do that yet. That's sacrilege. Before we have the first pitch, we have to have the ceremonial first sip. I almost forgot. I can't believe I almost forgot that. But we do need the ceremonial first sip. Ooh, that's some good coffee. It's hot too. Boy, I almost burned my tongue. Put that in the microwave for 30 seconds to get it extra warm so that it will be warm by the 7th inning. I don't know if it shows. I can see steam coming out of the coffee cup. I don't know if it shows up on the video or not, but some serious steam there. And good morning, Jeff. Good to see you. Now we're ready for the first. Now the ceremonial first sip's out of the way. Now we're ready for the first pitch. It's a 4-7, and that is a ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Dale Swain. He is a 3.25 for Swain. Oh, and a double die starts early. 3-1. That's a base hit. Swain an 11 and an E25. There is no 11 there, but the 1 on the double die is going to ensure that Claudell Washington gets himself a base hit. Unbelievable. If he wants to try for the lead, he needs a 6. Only way he gets the good lead is on a 6. Gets the 5. He does not get the good lead, so that takes us to Willie Randolph. Randolph on the replay is hitting .265, 2 homers, 22 driven in. He hit .305 real world. 6-6, and that's going to be a 1-6 double. 7-20 is a single. A double die is a 2. It's a double, 2 stars, and that's going to put runners at second and third. Yankees off to a hot start against Mr. Krim. 2-1, nobody out, and Mr. May, Dave Winfield's been moved up to the number 3 spot. Brewers are playing back. It's early. We're only in the first inning, so they want to try to prevent a big inning. Winfield hitting .274 on the replay, 12 homers, 33 driven in. He hit .275 real world. Pitch to Winfield, 5-9. That's a fly ball, right field B. That'll be a sacrifice fly as Claudell Washington will score. Nothing Glenn Braggs could do about it. It was too deep. Sac fly for Winfield. That'll be his 34th run batted in of the season to go along with his 12 home runs. And the Yankees take a 1-0 lead. 1 out, Randolph at second for Gary Ward. Ward, the left fielder, hitting .226, 7 homers, 24 driven in. He hit .248 in the real season. Krim to Ward. 2-3, and that's a ballpark single check. 1-6. That's a 12. I'll keep the original pop out to third because it doesn't affect anything. And we want a little bit of variety in our outs. So all these nasty line outs to short and line out to second. All right, here's Ron Kittle. It's a clutch situation for Kittle. In the clutch, he will lose a hit on 1-3. And I think that's it. Everywhere else, he's neutral. Kittle on the replay is hitting .319, 9 homers, 24 driven in. He hit .277 real world. 1-10, and that's a ground ball to third. And Mr. Pachorik will get the call. This is a Sunday afternoon game, so they are resting some players. Paul Molitor is actually injured temporarily. He's going to be out for about 3 or 4 games at least. I think he doesn't play again until about the 11th. So he is not on the roster. So small injury for him, but he's going to be out for a few days for the Brewers. So they have Pachorik against the left-hander Rasmussen. They wanted a right-hander there, so they rest Jim Gantner, the lefty, and move Castillo to second and put Pachorik at third. All right. That'll bring up Dennis Rasmussen, the left-hander, on the replay. On the real season. Let's start with there first. Real season, he was 9-7 with a .475 earned run average. And on the replay, he is 2-3 with a .450 earned run average. 66 innings pitched, 62 hits, 20 walks, and 47 strikeouts. We have switch hitter Juan Castillo leading off at second base. Castillo is only hitting .219 on the replay, no homers, 10 driven in. He hit .224 real world. That's a 2-7, and that's going to be a strikeout. So Rasmussen off to a good start. Puts the K on Castillo. And that'll bring up Robin Yount. Yount, center field, hitting .325 on the replay, 12 homers, 45 driven in. He hit .312 on the real season. 2-11 against the lefty. He's going to line it to third, right to Pagliarulo. And it's quickly 2 away. And that'll send up Cecil Cooper. Cooper, the designated hitter, hitting .218 on the replay, 6 homers, 18 driven in. He hit .248 real world. 5-6, and that's going to be a 1 for a single, but anything else he lines out to second. So Randolph will snag it. And that will end the inning. So nothing doing for the Pinstripers. They come away empty-handed. Go to the second. It's 1-0. I'm sorry, for the Brew Crew. They come away empty-handed. It's 1-0 Pinstripers. Get myself straight here. All right. Mike Pagliarulo will lead things off to start. Top of the second. Pags hitting .241 on the replay. 15 homers, 34 driven in. He hit .234 real season. 1-9, and that's a single 1-2, but that's going to be another line out. So we've had 3 line outs in a row. And the line out monster is returning today, it seems like. That'll bring up Dan Pasqua, first baseman, hitting 245, 10 homers, 21 driven in. He hit 233 real world. 5-7, and that's going to be a ground ball. Second base X. Castillo's a 3E21 for Juan Castillo. 3 and a 12. He'll get to that. 3 and a 12 is a G2. That's an 11, and he is an E21 at second base. There is no 11 there. 4, 13, and 17. Those are the only ones. So Castillo will make the play. 2 down for Joel Skinner, catcher. Joel Skinner hitting 202 on the replay. 3 homers, 12 driven in. He only hit 137 real world. 211 for Skinner, and he's hit by pitch plus a possible injury. So we could have Joel Skinner have to leave this ball game with a possible injury. And the way I play it, 1 to 7, 1 to 6 rather, he can stay in the game. 7 or higher, he's got to come out. So he's got to come out. That's it. Joel Skinner's injured. He is hit by the pitch, and he will have to leave the ball game. And that means that Rick Cerrone, their other catcher, who they'd planned on giving the day off, will have to forget that day off and take over as the catcher. So Cerrone, he will pinch run here in the second and then catch in the second. Rick Cerrone. All right, so Skinner hit by the pitch. And now we need to bring Cerrone in to pinch run for him. It's kind of bad when your catcher gets hurt in the second inning, because now what happens if Cerrone gets hurt? That's what you run into. But hopefully, injuries are few and far between. All right, here's Wayne Tollison, shortstop. He's hitting 209 on the replay. 2 homers, 15 driven in. He hit 221 in the real season. Switch hitter. 5-9, and that's a fly to left, and that will end the inning as Rob Deere puts it away. So Yankees go away quietly in the second, and they also lose their catcher, Skinner, and Cerrone will take over behind the plate. So I need to make that move on the computer, take him from the pinch runner to now the catcher, so he can catch going forward. And that might mess up the battery, because usually a starting pitcher is comfortable with one catcher, but he only went 1 inning with Skinner, so now he gets to go the other however many innings he pitches with Rick Cerrone. It's not like he hasn't worked with Cerrone all year long either, so hopefully it won't be a big deal. Here's Rob Deere, a left fielder. He's hitting 248 on the replay, 6 homers, 31 driven in. He hit 238 real world, so he's 10 points higher. 3-6 against the lefty. He's going to strike out. That is strikeout number 2 for Mr. Rasmussen. 1 away for Jim Paciorek, very little used utility player. Paciorek in 46 at-bats in the replay is hitting 261, a homer and 7 driven in. He had 101 at-bats, real world, hitting 228. 2-3, that's a ground ball right back to Rasmussen. Easy play, and Paciorek is taken care of. 2 up, 2 down for Greg Brock, the first baseman, left-hander. Brock hitting 322 on the replay, 6 homers, 31 driven in. He at 299 real world. So 111, lefty is a single chance. 1-6, but that's a 14. So again, he will line it to second, and that will end the inning. So at the end of 2, it is still Yankees hanging on 1-0. And I hope your Tuesday morning is going okay. Jeff, that's good coffee. I got to tell you. Ooh, that's really good coffee. It's the spot. Strat-O-Matic and coffee, I don't know if there's a better combination out there. Some people may play Strat-O-Matic and drink beer, but to me, Strat-O-Matic and coffee were born for each other. All right, here's Claudell Washington. He singled and scored his first time up. 1-7, and that's a strikeout. First strikeout for Krim. And there's 1 away for Willie Randolph. He had a double in his first at bat. 6-11, and that's a ground ball pitcher X. Chuck Krim is an E38. It doesn't have his range on here. Go to the computer for that. He's a 3 E38. 3 E38. And interesting, on the computer, he's actually a 3 E44, but I'm going by what's on the card. 3 E38. And a double die is a 1. Wouldn't you know it? I tell you what, that's the second time that's come up on an X. We've had 3 X chances in this game. 2 of them, the D20 has come up with the number 1. I'm telling you, Jeff, it's more than 5%. It's documented. It's more than 5%. It's a faulty double die is what it is. So a 3 and a 1 for a pitcher obviously is a single. E38, and we're looking at a 13. And there's a 13 right there too. So it's a single plus an error. Single plus an error. And E44 had a 13 also. So Krim would have made the error either way. So it is a single plus an error. Single plus the E1 on Krim. So Randolph is at second once again. Krim, his own worst enemy. Here's Winfield. Winfield sacrifice fly his first time. 2-6 for Winfield. This time he grounds it to third, where Bashork will make the play and hold Randolph at second base. 2 down. And it's up to Gary Ward in a clutch situation. Ward in the clutch. Gains a hit on 210. Everywhere else he is rated as neutral. Hello, Mike. Good morning to you. Ward. 4-5, and that's a pop out to second, handled by Castillo, and that will take care of it. So easy inning by Krim after he rescued himself from his own doing. Gets out of it unscathed. Go to the bottom of the third, still 1-0 Yankees. And Glenn Bragg's the batter. Bragg's on the replay hitting 278. 6 homers, 30 driven in. He hit 269 real world, so not too far off his numbers. 4-9, and that's going to be a ballpark blast. It's 1-5, but that's a 15, so just a deep fly to left. And there's one away. So Braggs is out of there, and here comes B.J. Surhoff. Surhoff on the replay, hitting 336, 6 homers, 21 driven in. He hit 299 real world. 310 lefty is a ground ball right back to Rasmussen. Easy play. 2 up and 2 down. And that'll send up Dale Swain, number 9 hitter, switch hitting shortstop. Swain hitting 332 on the replay, 10 homers, 31 driven in. He hit 252 real world. So 2-9. And that's going to be a ground ball to short, and Mr. Tollison will take care of that. And that's going to be an easy inning for Dennis Rasmussen. At the end of 3, it's still 1-0 Yankees. The sacrifice fly from Mr. May, Dave Winfield, has held up. Krim will come back out and face Kittle, Pagliarulo, and Pasqua for the Yankees here in the top of the 4th. 3-11, and that's another ballpark single check. It's only a 1-6, though, and that's a 20. So another line out to short. 1 away, and that'll bring up Pagliarulo. 6'9" lefty. It's a base on balls. That's the first walk issued by Krim. He's also hit Skinner and injured him. Pagliarulo will not go anywhere, not be held. Here's Dan Pasqua. .510 for Pasqua. That's a ballpark blast. It's 1-5, and that's a 12. So there's another deep drive to right. And Braggs will haul it in at the track. 2 away. That's going to bring up Rick Cerrone for his first at bat since coming in for the injured Skinner. Skinner was hit by a pitch and injured. So now Cerrone is in. Cerrone on the replay hitting 276, 2 homers, 11 driven in. He hit 243 real world. 3-9, and that's going to be a walk. So Cerrone will draw the second walk of the game and of the inning from Chuck Krim. And now it's a clutch situation for Wayne Tollison. Tollison in the clutch will lose some hits, 2-9, 2-10, and 2-5. So that column 2 is looking pretty bad. He cannot get a hit. The only hit he can get in column 2 was 11 and a 12. Other than that, he can't, or possibly on an 8. But not as good as that normal column 2 would have been. Whoa, we got a hopping dice, so we're going to re-roll that. That's a 5-4. Switch hitter batting left. That's a strikeout. Strikeout by Krim. That'll be his second. And the Yankees leave 2 more on. And we go to the bottom of the 4th, still 1-0. Top of the order for the Brew Crew, Castillo, Yount, and Cooper. And time for some more coffee. Castillo, a strikeout victim his first time up. 4-12, switch hitter batting right-handed, is a line out to third. So he lines it right to Pagliarulo. Out number 1 for Robin Yount. 3-6 for Yount against the lefty is a strikeout. Strikeout number 3 for Rasmussen. I'll send up Cecil Cooper, the DH, lefty-lefty matchup. 3-2, and that's a fly to center, hauled in by Claudell Washington. And that'll take care of the Brewers in the 4th. We go to the 5th, still 1-0. This is the fatigue inning for Chuck Krim. Keep an eye on that because he does have that number 5 right there for fatigue. So we will keep an eye on Chuck Krim and see how he does. Claudell Washington will lead off. He's 1 for 2 with a run scored. 2-10 for Claudell, and that's a ground ball right back to Krim. Easy play, 1 away. And here comes Willie Randolph. Randolph is 2 for 2. He's doubled and singled. And went to second on that error, so he's been on second base twice. 1-12, and this time it's a low max plus injury for Randolph, so he could be hurt. He's going to line it to third, where Pachorik will snag it, but now we need to check Randolph. He could be injured. Again, looking at the injury chart, it's a 1-6. A 1 through 6, he can stay in the game. 7 or higher, he's got to come out. He can stay in the game, so he's going to shrug that one off. And that'll send up Winfield with 2 outs and the bases empty. 6-6, and that's going to be a 1-6 double. 7-20, it's a single. So a 2-out single for Dave Winfield. Not really a threat to run. No threat to run, so he will not be held. And that'll bring up Gary Ward. One four for Ward. That's a solid double to right field, clean as can be for Gary Ward. A 1-4 double to right field. We'll see if Winfield can score. Winfield runs at a 16. Not being held makes him a 17. 2 outs makes him a 19. Bragg's a -2 arm makes him a 17. But if they throw to third, throw for home, Ward would take third. But there's already 2 outs, so you might as well try to get him at the plate. No sense not to. So Ward will take third on the throw. But Winfield could be out. Look at it again. 16 is his run rating. Not being held is a 17. 2 outs is a 19. -2 is a 17. 1-17, he scores. Barely. Right on the number. Right on the number, they score it. Slides in under the tag of Surhoff. RBI double for Gary Ward, and the Yankees lead it. Now 2-0. Ward did take third on the throw. So he's at third base with 2 outs for Ron Kittle. If it's less than 2 outs, they probably would have cut the throw. But since there was already 2 outs, they figured why not try for him, and they almost got him. All right, here is Kittle. 4-8, and that's a line out to first base. He's not tired yet, so the dot doesn't come into play just yet. It's a line out to Brock, and that will do it. So Krim might come back and pitch some of the 6th. We'll see how it plays out. He hasn't reached full fatigue yet, but he's getting there. He's getting close. So the Brew Crew is going to have to look at their bullpen and make some plans. Somebody doesn't have to look at the bullpen just yet is Lou Piniella, because Dennis Rasmussen is going along just fine. However, this is his fatigue inning also, so keep an eye on that. Here's Deere to lead off. 4-7, and that's going to be a 1 for a double. Anything else, he flies to left. Fly ball to left field for Deere, 1 away. And that'll bring up Jim Paciorek, third baseman. 6-9, and that's a fly to center, handled by Claudel. 2 up and 2 down for Greg Brock. 3-7 for Brock, lefty, and that's a base on balls. First walk issued by Rasmussen. First ding against his point of weakness. Brock will not be held. And here is Glenn Braggs. Braggs flew to left his first chance. 3-9, and he's going to fly to left again, and that's going to end the inning. So Rasmussen will keep most of his endurance into the 6th. We go to the 6th. It is still 2-0 Yankees. Krim will come back out to start the inning, but now that I think about it, you got Pagliarulo and Pasqua, a couple lefties coming up. So let's see if the Brewers want to go lefty here. They only have 2 lefties, and one of them is their closer, Plesac. The only other lefty is John Henry Johnson, and he's just not that good. So we'll just take a look and see who's rested and who's not. John Henry Johnson on the replay has an ERA of 17. Plus, he's a little bit overworked by being a lefty out there that does, when they don't have a whole lot of lefties that kind of overuse you. Let's see. Abasio's got plenty of endurance, and so does Jay Aldridge. Which way do they go? They're going to have Jay Aldridge loosening in the bullpen, but right now they're going to see if Krim can maybe give him one more inning. So Krim will be facing Pagliarulo, followed by Pasqua and Cerrone. 5-4 left-handed is a strikeout. Strikeout number 3 for Mr. Krim. 1 away for Dan Pasqua. He's 0 for 2. Is Mr. Pasqua. 3-7, and that's going to be another strikeout. So Krim not showing any signs of fatigue at the moment. Gets 2 strikeouts in a row. And now Rick Cerrone's up. Cerrone walked his only chance. 1-11, and he's going to ground it to short. Easy play for Swain. It's a 1-2-3 inning, and Krim, he might come back and start the 7th. As he goes 1-2-3 here in the 5th. Or here in the 6th, rather. Bottom of the 6th we go. Rasmussen will face Surhoff, Swain, and Castillo. 8, 9, and 1 hitters. Surhoff tapped it back to the mound his last time up, or his only time up. Lefty. 3-10, and that's a ground ball right back to Rasmussen. So he's done it again. Surhoff 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts to the pitcher. 1 away for Dale Swain, the switch hitting shortstop. 3-8, and that's another strikeout for Rasmussen, his 4th. 2 down for Castillo. Switch hitting second baseman. He is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. 4-10, switch hitter being right-handed, is a fly to center field, hauled in by Claudel. And Rasmussen will keep his endurance into the 7th. 2-0 ball game as we go to the top of the 7th here at County Stadium. Aldridge has sat down, and Chris Basio has picked up the pace in the bullpen. He will be loosening just in case Krim runs into trouble. They would go to Basio as the first option. Here's Tollison to start the 7th. He's 0 for 2. 5-6 switch hitter batting left, and that's a base on balls. Don't like those leadoff walks. They can get you into trouble. For Krim, that is his 3rd walk to go with 4 strikeouts. And here's Claudell Washington. He's not a very good bunter. Normally, it'd be a time you might want to bunt and try to get an insurance run, but he's not a good bunter. So they will have him swing away. 3-9 for Claudell, and that's a 1-5 single. Anything else, he lines to second, and that'll be a liner to second. 1 away. And I think that's going to do it for Krim. Starting to hit the ball hard off of him, so Tom Troublehorn says, let me get a fresh arm in there. And they will go to Chris Basio out of the bullpen. He is pretty well rested. We'll get the numbers on Basio and do the totals on Krim. Well, we can't close Krim out because he is responsible for Tollison. So Basio making his way in from the bullpen. On the real season, Basio was 11-8 with a 5.24 ERA and 2 saves. On the replay, he's 1-0 with a 5.40 ERA and 3 saves. So very similar totals. Basio. And Basio has a +1 hold. Krim's going to go 6 1/3 innings. He's going to give up 5 hits and so far 2 runs, which are earned. He walked 3 and struck out 4. Can't close the book on the runs yet because Tollison is his responsibility. But right now, Willie Randolph steps in against Chris Basio. It's a 6-4 for Basio, and that's a ground ball 3rd base X. We're looking at Pachorik. Pachorik is a 4.37. Obviously not very good. 4-12, he might catch a break and at least get a fielder's choice out of this. 4-12. No, it's actually going to be runner advance. The only play is going to be to first base, assuming there's no error. But a 4-12 is a G3. He is an E37, and that's a 10 at 3rd. E37, there's an 11 and a 12, but no and a 9, but no 10. So he's able to make the play. The runner, Tollison, will take second base on the play. But at least they got 1 out because that makes it 2 down now for Winfield. First base is open if they decide to walk Winfield, but you got Ward up next who doubled his last time up, so I think you're going to have to pitch to Winfield here. Clutch situation for Winfield. He gains a hit, 111. Oh, I didn't. What happened to the white die? Didn't go through. So let's redo that again. Don't know why it gets stuck like that. 4-6, and that's going to be a 1-3 single. Anything else he lines to short, that's a 6. He lines it to short, and that's the end of the inning. So now we can close the book on Krim. He's going to be charged with 2 runs, and he's going to be on the hook for the loss unless the Brewers can rally. So Basio came in and did the job he was supposed to do, got the 2 outs with no further damage. So the 7th inning stretch, it's 2-0 favor of the Yankees. Rasmussen still has endurance, so he's going to stay out there. Yount, Cooper, and Deere, your batters. Good thing the coffee is still pretty warm, so. So, Robin Yount will lead things off. 6-6 against Rasmussen is a strikeout. There's a dot there, but he is not retired. So the strikeout is still good. That is his 5th strikeout for Rasmussen. 1 away, and that brings up Cecil Cooper. Cooper has lined out to second. Yeah, I could do that, Mike, but I'm just not sure why they're rated differently on the card versus on the computer. I don't know if they, I mean, to me, it's not really updated. Maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe they reevaluated and I've got older cards and maybe that's not the right one, but just seemed kind of weird that they did that, but so be it. Here's Cooper, 4-5, and that's a 1-4 home run. 5-20 is a double. It'll be a double for Cecil Cooper, and there goes the no-no from Dennis Rasmussen. Cooper with the double. And now the Yankee bullpen might start to stir a bit because the no-hitter is no longer in effect. So we'll check the Yankee bullpen because Rasmussen is on the verge of fatigue. See who they've got that's rested. Stoddard's a little bit more used than they would like. Bordy is definitely available. Clements is okay. And Righetti is okay. A little early for Righetti, though, I think. So let's see who they got coming up. They got Deere, but they got some. But if they bring in a righty, then it opens up the lefties to come off the bench. So kind of pick your poison here. They'll let Rasmussen pitch to Deere. They'll keep him in the game until he gives up a run. 4-9, and that's good. Oh, that's a ballpark blast on a 4-9. It's 1-5, but that's a 20, so it's a deep fly to left. So we just escaped that one, 2 down. They might just cap him at 7 innings and be done with it. Here's Paciorek, third baseman. One, 2, and that's a ballpark blast, but that's a 10. So once again, the double die in the favor of Rasmussen, and he avoids the trouble. With that fly out to left and keeps the score 2-0. So Basio will come out to start the 8th inning, and it'll be Ward, Kittle, and Pagliarulo. Ward, Kittle, and Pagliarulo. Five, 6, and that's a strikeout for Basio. Basio putting the K on Ward. Here's Ron Kittle. Whoa, we got a hopping stuff here. Try again. 6-5 for Basio, and that's an in-home run chance, 1-4, but that's a 6, so he'll settle with a double with Ron Kittle. A double for Kittle, and that'll send up Pagliarulo. Basio to Pagliarulo. Pagliarulo is 0 for 2 with a walk. Yankees looking for some insurance. 5-11. That's a ballpark blast. It's only a 1-5, though, and that's an 8. So County Stadium is costing a lot of home runs. I thought it was more of a hitter's park than this, but not according to what Strat-O-Matic rated it. Here's Pasqua. Clutch situation for Pasqua in the clutch. He will lose a hit on 3-9 and on 110. 3-5, and that's a base on balls, so that'll put runners at first and second and send it to Rick Cerrone in a clutch situation. Cerrone loses a couple of hits, 3-3 and 3-7. Basio trying to keep the Yankees right where they are. 2-12, and that is a low max, but there were already 2 outs, so there's no double play to worry about. Just a hard liner to third that's snagged by Paciorek, and that's going to end the inning. So bottom of the 8th we go. Greg Brock is your batter. Five, 6, and that's a 1 for a single. Anything else, he lines to second. So Brock will line it to Randolph, 1 away. Glenn Braggs steps to the plate. He has flown to left twice. 3, 6, and that's going to be a double, 1 to 12, single 13. That's a single for Glenn Braggs. And now we're in the area where Righetti is available to come in if they choose to do so. Then you're going to let him pitch to Surhoff, and then that might be it. Getting right on the verge of his fatigue. Here's Surhoff. He's grounded back to Rasmussen twice. 2-7, and this time he gets that. Oh, here we go. Finally, a Giovanni's Tailor Shop tailor-made double play. 2-7 is a ground ball to second. It's 4-6-3. That double play sponsored by Giovanni's Tailor Shop, the tailor-made double play of the game. Giovanni's Tailor Shop in the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, if you ever decide to go there. Rasmussen's now officially tired, but that doesn't matter. We're going to take him out anyway. And Dave Righetti is going to be coming in to try to close the deal in the 9th. So Rasmussen gave them all they could ask for. 8 innings pitched, 2 hits, and no runs. And let's see, he walked just the 1, and he struck out 5. Obviously his best outing of the season, as he tries to even his record at 3-3. So we go to the top of the 9th. It'll be Basio back out, and he'll be facing Tollison, Washington, and Randolph. As we head to the top of the 9th, Tollison is 0 for 2 with a walk. That's a 4-8 switch hitter batting left-handed, and that's a 1 to 13 double. That's a 15 though, so it'll be a leadoff single for Tollison. And again, Washington just not a good bunter, so normally you might want to bunt there to try to get an extra insurance run, but it just wouldn't. I don't think it would pay off very well. Basio trying to keep things close. 2-7, and that's a strikeout. Puts the K on Claudel. 1 away, and that'll bring up Willie Randolph. Winfield on deck. Yankees need this win to try to close the gap. 3-9 for Randolph, and that's a fly to left field, where Deere will haul it in. 2 down for Mr. Winfield. Winfield is 1 for 3 with a sacrifice fly and a run scored. 1-9, and this time he'll fly to center, where Yount will haul it in, and that will end the inning. So Basio did very well, 2 2/3 of relief, giving up no runs. He gave up just 2 hits, walked 1, and struck out 2. So a nice outing there to keep them in the game, but now it's up to their offense to try to do something against Dave Righetti. Righetti will be coming on to try to close the deal. Mr. Righetti, go to the bullpen on the computer and bring in Mr. Righetti. On the regular season, Righetti was 8-6 with a 3.51 ERA and 31 saves. On the replays, 2-1 with a 3.69 ERA and 13 saves. So going for save number 14 if he can get it. He's got to face Swain, Castillo, and Yount. On the bench for the Brewers, they do have Bill Schroeder, a tough right-handed hitter. They could bring him in to hit at some point for somebody. He's got power too. So if somebody reaches, they could obviously do that. Maybe for Cooper if it gets to the 4th spot. We'll see. But they do have Bill Schroeder. He's, I guess, their ace up their sleeve, if you want to call it that. Here's Dale Swain against Righetti. 5-6, and that's going to be a ground ball shortstop X. Tollison, a 3E22. for Wayne Tollison. 3 and a 12 should be okay, but that 16 is ominous. 3 and a 12 is a G2, but the E22, and that is a 16. 15 and 17 and 18 are errors, but not a 16. So Tollison plays a bad hop and hangs with it. Throws out his counterpart at short in Dale Swain for out number 1. And Righetti is very happy about that. So they will actually, they're going to pinch hit for Castillo with a right-hander hitter that's a better hitter, and that's Mike Felder. He's actually a switch hitter that's a better hitter. They're going to save Schroeder if they get somebody on base because he's the home run guy. But they need the better average guy, and right now that's Mike Felder. So Felder will pinch hit for Castillo, and if it goes extra innings, they'll put in Gantner at second base. Right now, Felder, your pinch hitter, is switch hitter, as Castillo was 0 for 3. So they're looking for some spark here off the bench. Felder on the real season, 266 with 2 home runs. On the replay, he's hitting 296 with no home runs. Righetti to Felder. That's a 5-12. He's a switch hitter batting right-handed. That's a ballpark blast, but he has weak power. That's a 2. It would have been a home run, but it's only going to be a single because of weak power. Single because of weak power, but he's on base. He's got good speed, but his run doesn't mean anything, so you're not going to have him try to steal and get thrown out to end the game. So he'll be at first base with 1 out, and he will be held. He just won't try to get a lead. And here's Robin Yount. He is the tying run at the plate. 5-6 for Righetti is a ground ball shortstop X. We're right back to Tollison. And again, he is a 3E22. Maybe a double play could end the game. That's a 5, though. That will not be a double play for sure. It might even be a base hit. 3 and a 5 might get through. And it does not. It's a G3 pound, but he's not holding anybody on, so he's not responsible at shortstop for holding the runner at first, so the pound is irrelevant. It will be a play made to first with the runner advancing. That's a 12, and he's an E22, and there is no 12 there. So Tollison makes the play. His only play is to first base. Going to second is Felder, and now Bill Schroeder will come on and pinch hit for Cooper. As Schroeder is the tying run, 1 long ball, and he could tie this game. He did hit 14 home runs in just 250 at-bats, 332 average real world. So they do have to be careful with him. So let's bring him in on the computer for Cecil Cooper. It'll be Bill Schroeder. Schroeder on his replay is hitting 253 with 2 home runs and just 83 at bats. But he is a tying run, and he's definitely got some power. He's got some diamond shots here. It is a clutch situation, though, so he will lose a hit on 1-3 and also loses 3 hits here, 2-7, 2-8, and 2-9. So definitely a little bit on the anti-clutch. Hey, Joel. Good to see you. Righetti trying to get that last out and earn his 14th save. Here's Schroeder. 6-6 for Righetti is a solid single to center field. Righetti will single. Castillo not being held is a 16. He's a 15, not being held is a 16. 2 outs makes him an 18. Washington, a -1 arm makes him a 17. 17, they're going to send him. Even though his run doesn't mean anything, they still want to get off the schneid. And he's in there. So its lead is cut to 2-1. Schroeder being only a 9 runner, he did not move up. But they will get a pinch runner for Schroeder since he's on base now. They will bring in Rick Manning to pinch run. And Manning got some good speed. And if it goes extra innings, he would stay in as the DH. So Rick Manning will do the pinch running in place of Schroeder, who got the base hit. Now Manning, if he steals a base, he can get in scoring position. Righetti is a -5 hold, though. That's the problem. Cerrone, I believe, is a 0 arm. Yes, he is. So it's a -5. So you'd be taking your chances there. Even though he's a 20, you'd be down to a 13 if he got the lead. And it'd be tough to. That'd be a tough thing with Rob Deere coming up. I think they're going to let Deere swing away, even though he is 0 for 3. He's a dangerous hitter. So Manning's on. They will have to hold him on. That'll open up a hole at first base, perhaps. But Schroeder gets the RBI single, cuts the lead to 2-1, and Rick Manning will come in and pinch run. That will leave Gantner as the only bench player, but Gantner's actually going to come in for Felder if it goes extra innings because they need him to play second base. So Deere is up against Righetti. Deere is actually the winning run, a home run here. He walks it off. 3-9, and that's a strikeout for Righetti, and that's going to do it. Yankees hold on and win it by the score of 2-1. Typical Dave Righetti save where he kind of gives you a heart attack. Gives up 2 hits and a run. No walks and a strikeout. Does earn save number 14. The win goes to Rasmussen. The loss goes to Krim, although Krim pitched pretty well. And we go to our box score to get the totals. For the Yankees, 2 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. For the Brewers, 1 run, 4 hits, and 1 error. Rasmussen improves to 3-3. Krim drops to 1-2. Righetti his 14th save. Home runs in the game, there were none. There weren't much offense, period. In fact, Willie Randolph's the only player that had more than 1 hit. So this was definitely a defensive game. More importantly for the Yankees, they improved to 35-21. The Brewers dropped to 35-17. So the Yankees pulled up within 2 games of the Brewers. They're even in the win column, but they're 4 back in the loss column, which is a net 2 games back. So Rasmussen had the suspense going for 6 1/3 innings and then gave up the double to Cecil Cooper in the bottom of the 7th with 1 out, and he lost his no-hitter there. And then a single from Braggs kind of took him out of the game at that point. He got the double play to end the inning. Then Righetti came in and almost gave it away, but held on just in time. And if you're a Yankee fan, that pulls the Yankees within 2 games of the Brewers. And we'll see what it does with the Blue Jays, because remember, the Blue Jays lost to the Orioles. So Yankees gained a game on both of those teams. So the Yankees are only a half game back of the Toronto Blue Jays. Toronto's 34-19. Yankees are 35-21, and now Milwaukee's 35-17. So that makes things pretty interesting as far as the standings go in the East. Tomorrow morning, let's see what the matchup's going to be. We're looking at being at the Metrodome. It's going to be Texas and Minnesota. It's not a good pitching matchup, though, so there could be runs galore. It is Ed Correa for Texas against Juan Berenguer for Minnesota, who's making a spot start. So that one could be a lot more high scoring than this one. If you like good pitching, you're in good shape for this game. If you want offense, check in tomorrow. Sometime this afternoon or tonight, I probably will do a demolition game again. I am currently working on the History Maker Baseball America set fictional league. Instead of putting that in the Strat computer, I'm setting it up now to go into the Action PC computer. So I've gone in and done some groundwork there. I'm working on bringing in stadiums and logos into that as well. So once that gets all set up, then I'll be back on board with that replay, which has only gone 1 game so far. So need to get busy with that as well. But there's stuff to be done. But we're not under a time constraint to do it. So, all right, everybody. Hope you all have a great day, whatever you have scheduled for your Tuesday. And until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.